Zoinks! It seems we have a mystery on our hands, folks. In the previous episode, we have traveled to Shiver City to learn some more information about Starborn Valley, but it seems, unfortunately, that the mayor of the city has been murdered. And worse yet, they suspect it is us. See what I mean? Okay, so obviously there's a puzzle we have to solve here. We're not going to be able to leave this town. Not to mention everyone thinks that, you know, we committed murder on their mayor, no less. And to top it all off, that's a murder on a penguin, which is something I would never do if you know me. Actually, that just produced a very amusing image in my head, just of Mario evilly wielding a hammer, chasing penguins. I don't know why, that's just amusing. But yeah, shouldn't we have stayed longer to actually determine the cause of death? You know, whether was it, like, trauma, or something he ate, maybe it was poisoned? That might play into exactly what happened, so shouldn't we have to do more investigations on that? No, let's just run around the town until something happens. No, I didn't kill him. Yeah, there are few things more tragic than having penguins be afraid of you. It's outright terrifying. Or, you know, sad at least. So, do you still have those trees you mentioned earlier, or... do you? Ah. So, based on what we're seeing here, we have to find a character named, I believe they said it was Herringway, which is obviously a parody of Ernest Hemingway, the author. And we've been to his house earlier. We didn't go inside, but we've been to it. So we have to go find him. Indeed, perhaps there is something more amiss here. I mean, it would make sense for, I mean, usually when it comes to murder cases, the culprit is a person who knows him well. Or her well. Yes, I do, actually. Well, why don't you come with us? You know, we could use a penguin on our team, and, you can get stronger that way. Literally, through experience. Come on, let's go, come on. You know you want to. Please? Oh. Fine. I feel like you should have higher security measures than this. Like, shouldn't you guys detain me for questioning at least? Isn't how it's supposed to go? No, you're not being rude, I'm just saying that security here is a bit too lax. There could be a murderer wandering your streets right now, and you guys don't really seem to care. Wasn't there a person in this house earlier? I feel like I distinctly remember a penguin in here that we talked to. Yeah, this is the house I said had wine bottles in the back. Curious. Anyway, we can try to go into these shops here, but unfortunately the shopkeeper isn't going to let us buy anything. Which is understandable. I wouldn't want to sell anything to a penguin murderer. I wonder if Mayor Penguin has a name. Or if it's just Mayor Penguin. Or Mayor. I'll have to look it up. See, okay, now that didn't work, but maybe this will work. Okay, they'll still let you sleep, mind you. It's strange. I guess getting a little bit of rest is harmless, they picture. But if I can't go to the shop, I'm eventually going to run out of food. They'll have to feed me eventually. Oh? But yeah, this is ridiculous. I am doing that officer's job for him. I feel like, if anything, I should have been detained over at the mayor's office, perhaps. I don't know, this town doesn't seem to have a police office or, you know, law enforcement area. The closest thing to that was the mayor's house, and that was just an ordinary house. That place didn't even have a bed. Maybe that's the place where they lock up prisoners, in that building with the building with the locked door on it. Aww. To be fair, I'd probably react the same way. Yeah, that's true. Even if it's completely unfounded, the only thing they have against me is that I happen to be there. Actually, I wonder if that is enough evidence to put somebody in jail. That guy just said the same thing. Like, if you were to consider a case, and then, you know, you just happen to be at the scene of the crime where a person was dead, and you were there when people found you, but you weren't actually seen, you know, killing him, would that still be enough evidence to count you? I don't think it would, because there's no actual physical evidence. Anyway, now that we've broken that thing, which exploded, mind you, did you see that? That thing when we jumped in that ice rink earlier, it completely exploded. Maybe that penguin was right earlier. That was extremely dangerous. Shards could have gone into people's eyes. Then we would have even more murder mysteries. Or, actually, it's not really a mystery. Before we go in there, though, let's see what these girls think of what we did. Whoops! They don't seem to be mad at me, though. They surely must have witnessed it happening, so they don't seem to be mad at the fact that I just broke the ice rink. And again, another house that looks just like it belongs in Animal Crossing. Are those our wine bottles on the top of the shelves? Maybe it's vodka. Anyway, we're up here now. The issue that we were facing earlier was that Hemingway's house didn't have any clues in it, but when we go down here, we find him. A bit indirect, but it works. More like suicidal. I've heard horror stories of people who've gotten trapped in chimneys and died. Their bodies were found weeks later. Oh, I keep calling you Hemingway. You're Herringway. Sorry, Herringway. I thought I was a chief suspect. I'm very suspicious? Right. So you're the quote-unquote famous author here. With the awesome eyebrows. Whoa! Where's the mechanism for that? Is it in the fireplace there? That's mist stuff right there. Let's see if there are any treasures here while we happen to be around. Maybe we can take a peek at some of the spoilers he has written on those sheets of paper. Nah. I'm actually sort of surprised he left me alone in his secret room. I guess we have higher priorities right now. Now this is post-commentary, and I can't remember why I kept switching to sushi. That's kind of strange. I wish I could remember why. Anyway, now that we have Herringway, we can try to solve this mystery. Indeed, let's. This has gotten quite out of hand. You can't base your entire evidence based off of instincts. You know, you are rather suspicious, honestly. Usually people who have committed murder are the ones closest to them. Like wives or, you know, girlfriends or something, if we're talking about husbands. So you're not off the hook either. Yes? Yes, you didn't notice that? It's a penguin! He doesn't really have any hands. It would be obvious if it were there. You're not very good at your job, are you? How can you be sure? It could have very well just been an envelope he was carrying at the time. Whoa! Jesus, everything in this town functions based off of baseless rumor? I mean, I adore the penguins to death, but this is kind of sudden. Think about the motivation. Why would he do this? For political power or for money? He's probably the richest person in this town because he's a famous novelist. He had a secret room. That means he had better security than the mayor did. Yeah, see? It's ridiculous. What possible motivation could he have for killing the mayor other than personal reasons? You always have to look at motivation. Evidence and motivation always come into play with things like this. Shouldn't we have a trial? This is getting nowhere. Wait a second. Huh. My husband's a zombie. Isn't that the name of a movie? Like a really bad 70s movie? I can't remember. So did nobody bother to check his pulse, or, you know, see if he was still breathing? If he was just knocked out, he would have had both. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how penguins work like that. Maybe they freeze themselves when they go unconscious? I don't know. That sounds a little bit too far-fetched. Well, at least the penguin's okay. That's fine by me. A little bit goofy, but mind you, but, you know, a happy ending's pretty nice, too. Yes, we did. Technically, Mario is also at fault for not doing the correct checking. Have you? I'd like to hear about that. Don't you at least want to say goodbye to your friend, or thank God you're okay? Well, all in all, that was a strange diversion of time. Okay, so the actual major reason why we did that is so, of course, we can get out of this town and go into Starborn Valley. It was actually kind of fun, you know, sort of a little nice twist. The game might have actually convinced some of our younger viewers, or, you know, people younger who were playing this, that the character was actually murdered and his dead body was shown on screen. To a child who was young enough, I can imagine that might have been quite traumatizing to see. Also, that is a complete lie. The scenery in this chapter is amazing. It's my favorite chapter because of the, you know, the level design and atmospheric approach to the level. Of course, the penguins are a big plus, knowing me. But it's little things like that, you know, the scenery, the design, the characters. Even as childish as it all is, it's still kind of fun. It's the sort of stuff that actually drew me into RPGs in the first place. I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but Paper Mario was my first RPG. I got it as a gift from my family, and I was thrilled once I understood the concept of RPGs for the first time. That's a nice peaceful image there. Just sort of sitting by a fireplace reading a novel in the midst of a snowstorm. That sounds awesome, actually. I wish I had a fireplace. So, now that that's all done, we can get out of here. Again, not that I really want to leave Penguin Town, but, adventure calls. And see, this is what I was talking about when I said, you know, level design and atmosphere. Even the music is nice. Very relaxing section of the game, even if the enemies are a bit harder here. Let's just take a casual stroll and actually enjoy this. This is nice. I think those are Christmas trees that are supposed to be on the, Christmas lights that are supposed to be on the trees there. It's poorly, you know, the rendering is a bit poor because of the age of the console, but... Oh, it's you. You're probably the one they were talking about earlier when they mentioned a guy who was running around town screaming, yelling Mario. Then you should have gotten a code. Or at the very least hung out on the Toad House. Actually, that's a good place to ambush Mario. Just wait in a Toad House and wait for him to show up and then attack him. Because eventually he is going to want to heal. So that'd be the smart thing to do. But here you are, out in the wilderness, not even wearing a coat. See, your torso's exposed to the cold. Oh. You've been learning a little magic? Magic is something in this world that can be learned? Do you have to be a Koopa for it? Because, you know, Magic Koopas exist too. Or can you just, as yourself, learn magic? Tell me more about how this works. Is there like an academy for it? Like Magic Koopa Academy? Also, did that just say he had 50 HP? Jeez, that's powerful. Or, you know, healthy. Also, yeah, that was also very powerful. Considering my HP right now is only 15, 2 of those attacks will kill me. So obviously, unless I do something, I'm not going to be able to survive this very well. Like, when I was playing this for the first time, it was incredibly daunting. Can you imagine having a short amount of HP and then facing this guy who has, like, 50 HP and insane attack power? Can you imagine that? But as long as you approach this smartly, it's not going to be too big of an issue. After thinking about it for a little while, the first thing I decided to do was heal. I didn't know how much damage I could protect myself against if I had managed to brought down his attack power a bit. Ultimately, my strategy was to try to decrease his attack power. The badges that you guys had me wear also helped with this fight, too. So I started with Chill Out, which brought down his attack by, you know, 3 points. We've also got a set of badges that I'm wearing right now that reduce his attack power again when I'm, you know, at 5 HP or below. So that'll bring down his attacks fairly significantly. See, now it's only 1. Additionally, you guys, or at least somebody in the audience, I don't recall exactly who at the moment, gave me a badge called HP Drain. You had me buy it from the shop in Shooting Star Summit. What that does is, when you attack an enemy, you actually get a little bit of HP in return for attacking that enemy. But the cost is that you have to reduce your attack power by 1 point, which can be a little bit troublesome, but when you're below 5 HP, it's not going to be that big of an issue. And when I'm using that HP Drain to recover the one attack that he's constantly picking off of me, he's not really being able to do any specific damage. It also seems like he's not doing that, he's only doing the same attack over and over again, which is something important to bank on. So here I tried a Defense Down badge, because I know he has a little bit of defense, but that doesn't seem to do quite as much damage. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue with this attack here. The key was to try to do attacks that went through his defense, and I think Bomb does that. Watt's attacks also do that too, but again, I forgot the rules about Watt so constantly that I never use her. Anyway, he's down to his last 3 HP, so I decided, why not defeat him with style? And so, with the final badge you guys recommended, or one of the final badges you guys recommended, I used Mega Quake, which has quite a nice amount of strength to it, and a really impressive attack animation too. Also, we leveled up. To be consistent with previous level ups, we're going to go with FP this time. And with that, we have defeated him again. No! Kick him while he's down a bit, give him some extra motivation. He probably doesn't hurt too bad, considering the amount of other attacks we did. He'll be okay. Yeah, that was way back in Mario. No kidding. What does he order by mail? I'm curious. More, I don't know, eggshell polisher? Anyway, that's that for this episode. In the next episode, we're going to continue on east. Until then, this is Ardwick. Stay tuned, and good night.